See
That's
if
what it's
Loretto is in the house.
I don't think she's here yet, is she? Okay, got it. This meeting is being live streamed. Got it. Okay.
It's all you, Milo.
All right, sounds
Thank
good.
you so much, Marty.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Julie, go ahead and do your thing.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today is Saturday. We're going to start the show in about 3 minutes. We do hope that you're going to have fun today. It's a musical show, right? We got musicians here. We got composers here. We got songwriters here. Thanks for joining us, everyone. And we're going to start the show very quickly. Let me check on Loretto really quick. I'll be right back, Milo.
All right. Yeah, so we're going to have a regular old music mastermind today. What is it going to do for the music industry? We got some musicians on, like Julie said, we got composers, we got songwriters, man, we got some music listeners on. Man, we just got them all today. Hey, Lynn Nakamoto, I see her here. How you doing?
I'm great. Could you make me co-host so that I can help you?
I most certainly can.
Hello, Loretto.
You are there.
Thank you.
All right, bring them on, Lynn. Cynthia Brown's in the house from the city of brotherly love. Oh, yeah.
Loretto's going to join us shortly. She's on her way.
Perfect.
Thank
David
you.
Schweitzer's in the house.
Yes, Jacqueline Lewis from London, the UK. Good to have you here with us. Laundry, good to have you here. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. It's a beautiful day here in California. I hope everyone stays safe. I know some places still cold and wet and stormy. Make sure you stay safe as well. Lynn, thanks for joining us. Thanks for helping out always.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you so much. Cynthia Brown, one of our first fan, right?
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us today. Jane Francis, Sherry Durstaway, Van Loy Luke, good to have you here. Haven't seen you. Thanks for joining us today for the first time. Let's see. There's a lot of us that are here that we haven't met. Satish, Babu, good to have you here. Listra, I hope you are getting better and getting well. Thanks for joining us as well today. Momodu, always here, always support the Julie and Milo show. Many of our friends that are joining us today have been with us for over a year now. Alan G, thank you for joining us. William DeLome, good to have you here with us. David Schweitzer, good to have you here, David. You are my friend, and you were asking for a picture this morning. I wasn't sure which one, but I'm glad to see you here. I see Ron Hilbert just joining us here today. Thank you, Ron. Pam Stanovich, JPS, good to have you here. Tony, good to have you here. Let's see. Barbara Johnson, good to have you here with us. We're going to start the show in a few seconds. Today, we're getting together to talk about, how ONPASSIVE products will be able to impact the music industry. And I think it's going to be a huge impact. So yeah, let's get the show started, Milo, if you don't mind.
Right, here we go, y'all. You ready?
Can you make me part of the panel, please?
You are, Lonray.
Julie and Milo show is here today. I don't want to miss a single word they say. Bringing you founders from a near and far. Listen as they tell you now just who they are. Listen to the stories and how they tell. In just 3 minutes how they're doing well. Telling us what it's all about today. And how they're loving that old passive way on passive. It's here today on passive. There's just no better way. Listen to the Julie and the Milo show, and then you will be the very person
Thank you, Milo. Good morning. Good afternoon. Let's see who has the mic mute on today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Julie and Milo show. Today is February 12th, 2021. It's a special day with all the twos in there. Welcome all our friends here joining Julie and Milo show. Wow, it's the 12th day in February already. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Today, we are here to basically a mastermind sessions. We'll talk about how ONPASSIVE products, impact the music industry. And today in the room, we do have two musicians that we know. And I'm very sure there are so many musicians, artists out there that are currently doing what they're doing in their life. And when they see ONPASSIVE, they were so excited. And it makes ONPASSIVE so beautiful when they took their talent in their real life, in their life, and then they see what ONPASSIVE is, and then they put them into songs. And they're going to see a huge impact in ONPASSIVE. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it to Milo so that Milo can introduce our guest today.
All right. Hey, how you guys doing, man? It's so good to be here. It's a Saturday, man, and we're getting one day closer to the launch. I don't know when the launch is, but we're one day closer than we was yesterday. So we got to be thrilled about that, especially, today of course, it's close and dear to my heart, music. How's it going to impact music? And we got two great artists here that we'd like to introduce, and we're going to bring them to the show. And so, Julie, if you can pin Lorado and Renata so that they're up in that top corner, that would be great, so we can spotlight on them. It's good to have you guys here. Renata, you are from Croatia, I believe, correct?
Yes, I am. Hello, everyone. It's nice to be here. Hello, Cynthia, Lynn, and everybody. Thank you, Milo.
You're welcome. And then we have Laredo on the show. And we've had both of these on the show, both great artists. So Laredo, where are you from exactly? Tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, Julie and Milo. I enjoyed your song at the beginning, Milo. It was fun.
Thank you.
It was so much fun. Yes, I'm from South Africa. I was born in South Africa, but I live in Germany. So that's basically it.
So good to have both of you here with us. Loretta, if I may ask you, is there any way you could turn your phone sideways so we let
Sideways.
more
Okay,
of
hold
you?
on.
And that would
Is it
be
better now?
fantastic. Unlock your, there you go. Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank
Okay.
you so much for joining us.
Thank
Milo,
you.
I'm sending it back to you. Sorry, I just want to jump in to say that.
Oh,
really.
no problem. Great. So I think they're pinned now, correct? Can you guys both
Yes,
see them?
they are pinned. And if you like, everyone that watching us right now, if you like to see both of them pinned on your screen, please set my view as a speaker, right, on your computer. And if you like to see the whole entire crew that are in the panel, please set it at gallery so that you get to see everybody. Okay? You got it, Milo?
I do. That is perfect. So let me see. Let me put all four of us right there. So
Okay, you pinned myself too.
Yeah, I pinned you, and I'm gonna pin me. So four of us should be
All
over.
right.
So we're gonna talk. So are you ready to go, Julie? Do you have anything else?
Absolutely. I do. I think we're ready to go. But before we actually go further into the topic, let's have our guests talk a little bit about themselves, where they are from, what they're doing. Just take about 3 to 4 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and start with Renata. Renata, if you could please, and if we pronounce your name incorrectly, please feel free to correct us. So take about 3 to 4 minutes and tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, just so that our audience here and the viewers get to see and understand who you are and where you're coming from.
Okay, thank you, Julie. And you pronounce my name correctly. It's only Milo cannot pronounce my last name. Try it, Milo.
I don't even try. Gerby, wait, hold on. Gergi.
Yeah.
Hey,
Gergi.
I'm pretty. Gergi. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
So my name is Renata Grgic, and I came from Croatia. I'm married. I have 4 kids, and I'm working at 2 primary schools as a music teacher. In schools, I have children's choirs, and in one school, I'm teaching our traditional instrument tambura, playing tambura, and what else I can say? I joined ONPASSIVE almost 2 years ago. This month will be my 2nd anniversary, and I'm also writing songs, mostly spiritual songs and songs for children. When Mr. Ash, I think it was about a year and a half ago, wanted to us to make some videos, I was thinking I didn't know a lot of what is ONPASSIVE all about, so I thought, what should I say? I wanted to say something, and then I came to the idea that maybe I could make a song, but you know, I never wrote a song in other language before, so I was thinking, how will I do that? And it just came, you know, when I was listening webinars, and I was inspired with many speakers, and I just collected some words, you know, on paper, and that was it. So I really didn't think that I will ever make a song in English language, but here it is, and I'm so happy because many people told me that it touched their hearts. So, and that's my main mission in life, to touch people's hearts. So
Absolutely, Renata. Thank you so much for being here. You see, a lot of us here as founders of ONPASSIVE, we see the love that you have for ONPASSIVE through your song, through the music that you wrote, and through the song that you put out. So we do share that as well. So thank you so much for the love that you have through the beautiful music that you create. Now, I'm going to turn it to Loretto. Loretto, you joined ONPASSIVE. You are, as a musician, as an artist, you joined ONPASSIVE, and you see the beauty, the love of ONPASSIVE, and how incredible some of our products. And then you went out and you composed a song. It was a beautiful song. Our CEO loved it. We shared it, and it went viral. And talk to us a little bit about you, about what made you created the song, and just a little bit about you. Take about 3 to 4 minutes.
Hi, everybody again. So, you know, when I start talking about ONPASSIVE, it's the heart of everybody. It's just the spirit of ONPASSIVE. It's the spirit of Ash. Everything about ONPASSIVE just vibrates on another dimension for me. By the way, my name is Lerato Shadari. I'm from South Africa. I have 2 sons. I'm married. I live in Germany. Here in Germany, I teach 2 choirs. I'm also a musical actress. So I've toured basically the whole of Europe with different tours, musical tours, different tours, gospel music. So that's basically what I do. And yes, in the nutshell. So I teach, I'm a vocal teacher, I'm a songwriter, and I'm a mom. So that's a lot. Yes. So you asked me about the song. basically the song came about because the spirit of unpassive, if you're somebody that vibrates in that vibration, the vibration of love, the vibration of giving, the vibration of just everything beautiful, there's no way that you're not going to be able to absorb something. So for me, it translated into song, because that's what I naturally do. I'm a singer, so that energy for me translated into song. And then I just put it down. I said, okay, you know what, we're talking about lifting up humanity, and which is one of the greatest things that we can do as human beings, fulfilling our purpose by helping others to climb up. So it was no brainer. And we're talking about, we're together. If we're together and we're connected in one heart, we can do so much. We can move the universe, basically. You know, it takes only one light to dispel darkness. You know, if a room is dark, if you put one candle, that one candle will light up the whole room. And that's what ONPASSIVE is for me. It's a light in darkness. It's a light. It came about for me in my life when you know, the pandemic started. And for a lot of artists, that period was really, really tough, because we had to now think about other ways to make money, other ways to function, other ways to basically preserve our livelihood. And of course, I tell people that I'm a software specialist, but I never operated in that field. So if you don't operate in the computer field or in IT, basically, there's no way. I mean, you basically have to start from scratch. So the idea of me starting from scratch with IT, and I was so traumatized. I was so traumatized. And ONPASSIVE came as a light in darkness. So it's no brainer for me to write that song. I'm just basically emulating or translating my joy, translating my you know, the hope that I have. And not only the hope, it's not a hope anymore, because we know that ONPASSIVE is guaranteed. Just knowing that this is what's happening it's amazing. And being a part of that movement, or being a part of the ONPASSIVE family, is amazing to me. It's mind-blowing. So I'm just in awe, and I'm so grateful.
Thank you, Laredo. Thank you very, very much. Okay, now let me go and let me ask a couple questions, or one question to each of you. So, and it's going to be the same question. Renata, how do you feel that ONPASSIVE is going to impact or help your music the most? What is the number one thing that you think it will help you with?
Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not, you know, the singer in my core. You know, I'm more in love with music in general. So I don't know. Maybe I will continue to sing. I don't know, but in general, speaking of music and of musicians, I think all musicians will have great benefits of our products, and I'm hoping that my most project that I'm waiting for is audit for editing and creating videos. I hope we will have. I don't know exactly what features it will have, but I think that is my most expected products. Of course, here is our Connect, and if I continue to make music, I will be able to. I mean, ONET. I will be able to share it. And
let's go with your number one. What do you think will be the biggest thing to impact your music? The number one thing that ONPASSIVE will bring to the table to impact your music?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's hard to say
there's
the
no
one
right
thing.
or wrong answer. Just what do you think will be the number one thing to impact your music?
I think it will be ONET, maybe to
ONET?
I will, yeah.
Okay. Great. How about
okay.
Loretto? What will
Milo,
be your number
Milo,
one
this is
thing?
so unfair. This is so unfair, Milo. One product, how can you do this? It's impossible.
I
Yeah.
understand. We're gonna get to them. We're gonna get to them all. All I want to know is, what do you think was the number one thing
I
that
have the
will?
same feeling as Renata. I mean, I cannot with OnPassive, when you check what the products do, basically, you cannot just say, oh, this is the one. All of them are just
Yeah.
like explosive, right? So of course, for me now, the product that does it, that will do it for me, and I would love to see efficacy. Like, I mean, right now I'm using Zoom to teach, and Zoom has a lot of challenges for musicians. At the beginning, the sound challenges, different challenges, connecting it to other sources, connecting it to YouTube, or trying to connect it to other social media platforms was daunting. So I'm just looking forward to O Connect, because if O Connect is efficient and easy to use and user friendly, I'm looking forward to it, because right now, everything that we do as musicians have to adjust. We cannot rely on being on a venue. We now have where we are, we have concerts now where we do online concerts. So if we have a platform that is stable, a platform that is clear, a platform that is user friendly, I am really, really happy, and I know that's going to be ONET for me. So I'm looking forward to it, because basically the whole music industry is moving to virtual concerts, virtual this. We're teaching across the border. I'm a vocal teacher. I would love the sound to be stable, to be good, so I can be able to teach and be able to sing and hear my student without any, interruptions. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
You
Yeah.
guys answered just the way I wanted you to, because there isn't one thing. It's a whole lot of things, but
Yeah.
there's one thing, to each of us, something different. But there is so many things, and that was the point I was bringing out, that there's one thing that it might be more important to Renata that's not as important to Laredo, because she might be moving in a different direction. I appreciate you guys answering that question. We're just digging. We're trying to find out that we're gonna go through a whole lot of these things, and you guys, that was great. Back to you, Julie.
Thank you, Milo. Thank you, Loretto and Renata. I mean, I'm like the least that has music experience or anything music in this panel here, but I just wanted to touch on, like Loretto, and I'm very sure Renata too, because everything that you create, you want to have an audience. You want to have a fan base. How do you see OnPassive, the community itself, impacting you and what you're putting out there? I'm going to start with Loretto this time.
I mean, we have OChat, right?
Yeah.
So of course we're going to use tools like OChat to reach out to our fans, to try to have a platform where we can communicate with our fans, or to build new fan base. So OChat is a product to just do that. So I'm looking forward to the features to see exactly what it's going to do, because right now a lot of artists, we're using Instagram, we're using also Facebook. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to see what OnPassive is offering, which I know, of course, is going to over deliver. So I'm looking forward to see what OChat is going to bring onto the table. What are we going to be able to do through OChat, and how to reach our audiences, all those kind of things. So I'm just looking forward to it. But that product for me is OChat.
Perfect. It's really crazy how we are looking at it, because everything that you put out right now, both of you putting out right now, your music, your creations right now, there's already over 1 million fans that actually sitting out there and clicking on, and not only watching it, love it, and share that with other people, other audience that watching or follow them on their channel as well. So the same questions go to you, Renata.
Yeah, I agree with what Lerata said, and I think, as I said, the Facebook and all our other social media are, like we are do not want to be there anymore. And I think ONET will be also great product for fan bases, because I hope we will be able to create some groups there, and like this kind of music, the other kind of music. And All Connect, I also wanted to say that it will enable to all musicians and producers to connect and maybe sing together. I also have problems with Zoom when we are, in lockdowns and we cannot sing. And I must say, it's awful how it sounds. And if our all connect, I think it will be great place. And one of my wishes is I would like to sing with, 1 million people, either or virtual or in live. And I think with All Connect, I will, if I experience that, I think my heart will jump out of my body, or my ears will pop up. This is my wish, and I hope Mr. Ash will hear our wishes. So I don't know if I answered your question, or I went to somewhere else, but this was on my mind at this time.
Absolutely. Many of us who are founders of ONPASSIVE, we know the product that we can use, but we did not have the whole entire knowledge of the deep, how it goes through yet. So the reason why I bring Renata and Loreto here, because they can speak on their side, being a musicians, what their needs, what they are looking for. It's not necessarily that they know the products that can help them. It's not necessarily knowing the fact that, because all of us are in the same place. We are still learning about our products of ONPASSIVE, but because of you are being musicians, what are the needs in the music industry so that you communicate it that way. I want to turn a question to Milo, because Milo have shared, I know it's crazy, right? You are a musician yourself, Milo, so don't be surprised. But here's the thing though, Milo, you have gone to Florida to visit Mr. Ash Mufareh. And in that meeting, sitting down with him, you asked him questions. And I thought that is very, very important, because so many people, musicians around the world, are looking for this. So the question is, Milo, what question did you ask him, and how was his answer, and what was Mr. Ash Mufareh's answer?
Absolutely. Thank you, Julie. I'm going to start my clock because I know otherwise I'm going to run long.
No, you have no time limit on this one. So go ahead, Milo.
So, Renata went right to the point. How do we make it where that 1 million people can sing? There's a thing called latency where, whenever you sing and someone else sings, it cancels out each other, and it's a mess. It honestly is a mess on Zoom and stuff. If someone opens their camera when you're singing, it just messes yours all up. That's called latency. So the very number one question that I asked Mr. Ash when we first sat down together, basically, one of my things was, hey, listen, I'm a musician and I love to sing, but I don't like to sing with myself. I love to sing with everyone else. My favorite thing to do is sit in a room full of piano or with people, and to sit down at a piano and have people call off old hymns, gospel songs, because it's very hard to stump me with a gospel song, especially an old hymn, if it's, in the Baptist or the Pentecostal, that type of old hymns, I'm very good at that. I mean, I grew up with them my whole life, and it's just really hard to stump me. And so I like to sit around with people, and I love to sing. Now, I can't do that on the internet, although I would love to. I've got videos out where I'm sitting during the pandemic and I'm playing my piano and I'm singing songs, but I can't have that interaction, which I really like. The same way with a concert. That's the reason you like to go to concerts and stuff because you like to interact with the people and feel the people. So I said to Mr. Ash, I said, Mr. Ash, I said, is there any way that that with this new product, because I didn't know what it was at the time, you know, all I knew is there was this product coming out, you know. I said, is there any way that you will solve this problem? You know, and Ash, typical Ash, you know, he sat there and you could see in his eyes were like rolling and he's thinking, you know what I'm saying? He's thinking, and he doesn't talk for a few seconds. And then he says, Milo, he goes, we have thought of that. He says, I don't know if you know this or not, but we actually came into this to go into the music industry to solve some problems, because there's other problems in the music industry. He said, but that's one of them. And he says, I can tell you that it cannot be done right now. But he said, as soon as it can, we will be the ones doing it. And I was so happy because he didn't say no. He said it's going to be done, but it can't be done right now. What does that mean? I believe that it means that, you know, and if you study 5G and all this, you know, people who study 5G know that 5G was coming out and it was going to harm people. But the truth of it is 5G is not that good. It will not even penetrate a hand. It won't penetrate a wall a lot of times. So it limits you very much to where you can do. There's a new technology out called, I think, 5E that will be from above. It will be satellites. As we know, we're probably going to be into that. But there's satellites that's going to beam down to the earth. And it's going to go through walls. It's going to go through everything. And it's not going to harm people. Well, what a great concept. And now you can have this fast internet that is fast enough that the latency is not a problem. So remember, when Ash says our internet's going to be 5 to 10 times faster, there's a thing called virtual private network where it hooks to the internet around the world, like maybe in 5-10 spots, and brings that internet to you, which makes it very fast. I believe that's going to be the thing that will cure the latency problem. Now, I don't know that for sure. I'm just, you know, I'm trying to logically think in my head. I do know that it's going to change the music industry, for that reason, you know, and there's a lot of other reasons, you know, but that was what I talked to him about. We also talked about, okay, what about how are we going to get past the thing of the singers being paid, the songwriters being paid, because that's a problem. I mean, right now you have singers and songwriters that get very little of the money, and you got, because, you know, you have a publisher in there, and I'm not saying nothing bad about publishers or anything like that, but everyone's wanting to get a little piece of the money. And when they do, all of a sudden there's no money for the artist. Now, it's just a matter of redirecting, rethinking, learning what happens. And I remember my friend, he come to, man, I'm already on 5 minutes. I'm sorry. I got to tell this though. But Mike Stewart come to town 10 years ago, and he said, look, he said, the music industry is changing. You guys have to change the way you're doing it, because the way that it originally was in the old day was, you know, someone, a publisher or whatever got a song from a singer, and he peddled it to the radio stations, to the TV station, and the radio and TV stations went to the car dealerships, went to the attorneys, went to, you know, this place, that place, and they would get advertisement. So when the advertisement came in, the money came in, that paid the artist the money. Well, guess what? That doesn't happen anymore. Why doesn't that happen? Because we have the internet. No one has to, you know, advertise on TV. You can still do it, but it's not near what it used to be. Okay, so TV, radio is kind of going by the wayside, because now you have internet radio, you have satellite XRM, you know, these people with their own channels and stuff like that. So that advertising money is not there like it was before. How is this going to change it? You know, we went through the YouTube stage, which was called PPC, pay per click. So whenever a person went to your song, if you were smart, you put your song on there and it didn't cost anyone anything. But with Google AdWords and stuff like that, when someone clicked on it, well, it would bring up an ad. And if they clicked on the ad, of course, you got you got paid for it, you know. That's what it went through. I think this is going to a brand new, different place where, you know, now we have ONPASSIVE. Okay. So if you have your music out there and someone clicks on it, all of a sudden they're brought to, if they like your music, they come to your music. But guess what? You don't get paid for your music necessarily. What you're going to get paid is because the people going and drops in your funnel, they might sign up with ONPASSIVE, which is a commission, and you get a commission. Guess what? Not for one time. You get it for the rest of your life. The rest of your life. I think this is going to change the industry. I think the passion of songwriters, people in the industry are going to realize this, jump on board, and all of a sudden, I think we will see a lot more music, a lot better music, because when you can have passion, but sometimes it can kill your passion when you work, and you don't get compensated for it. That's my 2 cents, and I went 7.5 minutes.
You know, I love what you're sharing here, Milo. And to me, I believe that there are so many artists out there that is suffering, right? Because they create songs, music, but they don't have the audience, right? They don't have the tools to actually share it. And if they wanted to have their song goes, they have to have their agent, they have to sign up with the label, they have to do all of this, and all of their hard work, you know, after it goes viral, they earn so much money, but it goes to other people, right? It goes to all the layers, all the level before it comes to their pocket. So I'm so glad that we are here today, and I'm so glad that we are in ONPASSIVE so that we can have a chance to do that. I'm going to go ahead and add another individual here, another leader in ONPASSIVE who has a wild variety of knowledge of ONPASSIVE. And you know this man, Marty DeGamo, he has so much knowledge on ONPASSIVE and how he can actually gives the value, and then what he shared here will impact the music industry tremendously. So Marty, thank you so much for joining us today, and the mic is yours, Marty.
Thank you. This is awesome. Laredo, you are unbelievable singer. And no, I didn't realize who you were. I watched your song, but I didn't know it was you. Yeah, amazing, mind blowing. For me, and I know I can barely turn on a radio, okay? I'm not musically inclined, but I love music. And with ONPASSIVE, listen, in the music industry, for example, Laredo, I think you sing better than some people that we call stars, okay? Now, a lot of it, yeah, they have great voices and all that. Most of the time, not any better than yours. The difference is it's time and chance. Were you there at the right time? Do you know the right person? ONPASSIVE doesn't care. If you get known on O Connect and you build a fan base in the beginning, which you've already started, my dear, big time, and you keep doing that, you can go viral on O Connect. And you think, well, we got 1 million people. That's a lot of people. But in a year's time, we have 100 million. Guess what? Other people outside of ONPASSIVE will take notice of you. Guarantee it. So where the impact is, you'll be able to do this without any political or who do you know and who don't you know. Because we will be the new YouTube, okay? Many stars came from YouTube. But nobody started in the beginning of YouTube like you're going to start in the beginning of O Connect or any other part where you can drive people to your music. And because you have a fan base of founders, they're going to in turn say, you got to go listen to this lady, flat out. And this is going to go viral. I believe that. I believe you'll be, I think people will be amazed. I know there's great singers. I've heard some that they never had a chance. Never. Milo lives in Nashville. He's met people that sing better than some people up on stage that you think are superstars. No kidding. You know that. You know that yourself. This is going to blow it up for people like you and Renata, writing music, doing music, because you'll build a fan base in ONPASSIVE. Nobody's more dedicated than founders. Resellers are going to come in and do the same thing and see what's going on, and you'll get a fan base that'll blow you away. I believe that with all my heart. So OnPassive is the best thing in the world for new and good singers, no doubt about it. And again, I know nothing about singing, but I know who has a good voice, and you're one of them. And you could rocket this thing. And I believe there's other people with the same thing, where they write music or they sing very well, and you ain't got a chance. You ain't got a chance. There's nothing more competitive than Nashville. I'll tell you right now. It's worse than Hollywood. I'm getting this from facts. I hear from people from Milo who is Nashville. Seriously, you're going to meet people. People will join you because of your voice and because of Connect. And like Milo said, when they get to the point where more than one person can sing and you can hear a duo, that's mind blowing. That's absolutely mind blowing. And that's technology that if it's out there, we'll get it. And if it's not out there, Frankenstein will create it. I don't mean to call him Frankenstein, but Mr. Mufareh, okay? He will create it. I know I went over 3 minutes, but really, I see where this could go for so many people, and especially in the music industry. They'll never have a chance, never, unless you have a platform like this. And there is no platform like this in the world. So anyway, you're going to kill it. I want an autograph before you get big, though, please. That's all I got.
Absolutely, Marty. You know, both of them. Renata, you too, with your music. I don't know if you know it, but we play your music after every show on Wednesday and after every show on Friday or Saturday. If you look at the thing, we tag your that song that you do with the Founders. You know, but it is all about the platform, Marty. You were exactly right, and it's about being at the right place at the right time and the right person hearing you. That's honestly what it is about. Let me just tell you about my friend. My friend is Wendy Moten. She's a really good friend of mine. How many of you have heard of Wendy Moten? If you have not heard Wendy Moten, I suggest you Google her and you look her up. She was on The Voice. Now she goes and she sings every day at the Time Jumpers with me. Or not with me, but I'm there on a Monday, not every day, every Monday. Okay. She was on a show called The Voice. How many of you have heard of The Voice? I'm sure most of you have. It's quite a great platform. Now, here's the thing, that if you get on The Voice, you're heard by millions of people because they have a fan base of millions of people, right? Once you get on there, all of a sudden everybody realizes, oh my God, did you hear that Wendy Moten sing, you know? And Wendy Moten has just blew up. So after she come off The Voice, even though she has sang for years, when I first heard her, I thought the woman was like 28, 30 years old. Come to find out she's 57 years old. She's been around a long time. Julio Iglesias, if you've ever heard of that guy, she sang duets with Julio Iglesias for 15 years, all over the world. And yet hardly nobody knew of Wendy Moten. You know, she was a backup singer, but now she's been put on a stage. She's been out there. She has just went viral and she's blown it up. You know, her name is Wendy Moten, and look her up. You know, but this is what's going to happen, I feel like, with ONPASSIVE, because you have that built-in fan base. So in other words, ONPASSIVE is now The Voice, and you got that's out there. And people start sharing it, and all of a sudden it goes viral. And guess what? All of a sudden you're known around the world. Now, here's one thing that I will tell you that Wendy Moten don't have going for her. Well, she will, because she is a founder. But if she wasn't a founder, here's one thing that you have going that she doesn't. Do you realize? And this is a big thing, and I think a lot of us miss this, that only 59.2% of the world right now gets the internet. Only 59.2% of the world. What happens with the rest of them? They don't get the internet. And even if they did get the internet, they're in the backwoods and they have no banking system. They don't have any internet, you know. So now you bring them internet. Well, you got to have them a phone, right? So you get them a phone. So what happens if a founder goes into an area where there is nobody, you know, no one has anything, and they bring them ONPASSIVE, and all of a sudden the person gets a phone. But not only do they get a phone, they get a banking system. Now they're going to be exposed to the music. And what if it's your music? If you're the first on passive and you're one of the first doing, all of a sudden, guess what? It's going to get exposed. Why is that? Because of AI. Do we realize how big a thing AI is? AI is going to say, hey, you know what? You want to see music? I don't know what music is. Let me check. Boom. And they click on music. Well, who do you like? Well, I don't know. Let's try this one. And they find a person that they like. Well, it might not be Renata and it might not be Loretto at first. Say they find someone, but all of a sudden this AI says, hey, you know what? If you like Peter Frampton, hey, you're going to like Renata. And so it's going to take Renata and it's going to drop it in that sales funnel. Now they're exposed to you and they might become a big fan of yours. That's the reason I believe that ONPASSIVE will build all of our fan bases for us. We don't have to worry about building fan bases because they're going to do it for us, number one. Number two, let's go to Facebook. Let's look at how Facebook works. So Facebook, you build your fan base, which I did. I built it, you know, I had over 5,000 people in my Facebook and I was having to delete people to add them. And all of a sudden, Facebook said, hey, you got hacked. I said, I did? Yeah, you got to prove that it's you. Okay. So I sent them all the stuff. Hey, this is me. That's really me. This is Marlon Milo Davis. And they said, that's not good enough. We don't believe you. Said, you got to have someone else tell us. So I said, okay, well, who do you want? They said, well, give us your three best people. And they said, Curtis, Jessica, and Marla. Those are my two daughters and my brother. And so I said, okay. So I told them, I said, hey, fill out this form and send it in. They did. Facebook sends me back a note and says, hey, it's not good enough because they send it at different times and we have to have it at the exact same time. I said, that's stupid, but okay. So I told them, I said, hey, you got to send it at the same time. So I coordinated my efforts and I said, okay, ready? You guys are all three online. Let's, when I count to three, you go and send it in. Boom, boom, boom. I said, 1, 2, 3, and they all sent their forms in. Well, Facebook still said, we still can't verify you. So what did I do? I said, well, I ain't gonna play your game with you. So I just made up a new Facebook. But that's what can happen to the artist. It's sad, but it happens every day. I hear it every day in Nashville where, you know, Facebook just goes through and everything you've built up, they tear down, you know. So this is where I think this, because it builds it for you and, you know, it puts it in there for you. I think that's going to help you. Back to you, Julie.
Absolutely, Milo. You know, I'm Asian, so a lot of the musicians that I know always ask me, right? You do know I'm Asian.
Yeah.
To always ask me, okay, how do I break into Asia? How do I, you know, I want to, because as you can see, there's a lot of musicians in Asia, actually very famous here in the US. So they wanted to go there. I mean, and I'm like, really easy, join ONPASSIVE, you know. Basically, we do have Asian here, people in other countries in Asia are actually in it. But the crazy thing is that when you, let's say that you are an artist today and you want to break in an Asian market, right? You have to go through so many layers of people, right? But you're still not sure. Let's just say that you have a live tour in Asia. You're not sure how are the fan over there, how they are acting. With ONPASSIVE, with the products of ONPASSIVE, you literally could stay in your studio, right? And have a concert out to the entire world and prepare yourself when you feel like you want to travel to Asia or to other continents physically. You already built your fan base right there from the seat of your home or your studios already. I mean, this is really incredible. What if you could use Academy to teach music? Renata, you are currently a music instructor right now, and Loretto, you are too. What if you could use Academy to do it? I like to ask, you know, Marty and Milo, both of you do know how huge Academy is, how huge is OConnect, and then other products. Let's talk on the value of what all products of ONPASSIVE will give the tools to our musicians. So I'm going to start it with Marty. Marty, would you like to talk more a little bit? You covered about OConnect. I'd like you to go expand it a little bit. How do you see other products help musicians or music industry as a whole?
Oh, I mean, think about if you wanted to, somebody wanted to teach guitar lessons, okay? He could go in to OConnect or Academy. It doesn't matter, and teach chords and teach how to do it, and have people play back to them to say, no, not like that, like this, like there's no end in many of the applications of OnPassive that people can use to share and train. And the nice thing about it, when you're doing it on Academy or even OConnect, you can add where you charge people. Now listen, you think, well, is that okay? Yeah, it's okay. You add a button and you can charge very little, $5 a lesson. Now that doesn't sound like much, but if you have hundreds and hundreds of people on there, we're talking more money than you've made in 6 months, right? I mean, it could happen. Same thing could happen with somebody that sings. You say, look, for a ticket, another neat thing, and I don't know why I'm going there, but I am anyway. Even people that in the future you're going to have semi-superstars come on OnPassive, right? You know that. When they do, what happens to even a superstar? The day they stop going out on live concert, things drop down the tubes. Now they're known, they're still selling things, but to be relevant, you have to constantly tour and tour and tour. If you had a platform where you could play music and people could come to you and you could give them a lifetime thing, you could give them whatever. You could even give them a deal in OnPassive, right? Whatever you wanted to do. And if their founders are a reseller, they pay $5, whatever you decide to pay, you got another stream of income for the rest of your life, You can even do a recording and put it on there and play it. I'm playing tonight at 8 o'clock. Even if you can't make, you play it at 8 o'clock. People can respond, people can pay. I mean, for me to give you each detail, we're going to go way past 5 o'clock. So I'm telling you, if you really open your mind to what everything does and then put what you do or what your passion is, and you'll see that you can add it to that. And even if you can't sing on a certain product, that product is a magnet to get people to where you are singing. So it's a big net in the water, and you're going to get people one way or the other. And could you imagine you're making money as a founder more than choke a horse, okay? More than you need, but to also have a separate income of something you love, you're passionate about. I don't care if you're a painter. You can show people how to paint. If you want to teach Spanish or you want to teach your language to somebody, you can get on there, make a charge and say, look, I'll teach you how to speak Croatian or Spanish or German. And everybody could use that little bit of revenue for whatever you want. Even for Oblasts, right? You can use that money for Oblasts. The sky is the limit in OnPassive. It is absolutely, the only limitation is the 4 inches between your ears. If you can think about it, you can do it. And you'll see, start doing it now. You go look at the 20 products and you say, how would that help me do what I am passionate about? And you will be blown away that there's far more than one or two. Guarantee it. Whether it's a bridge to bring them, whether it's a way to advertise to them, but either way, you can bring people anywhere you want, from Facebook, anywhere, onto a platform where you're singing, and you can actually monetize it and do very, very well. And trust me, this is going to hit every industry in the world, and some big people are going to be on one day and watch Loretto sing or Renata, and they're going to go, oh, I got to contact them. And that's going to be easy. Why? Because they're inside of ONET. And OnPassive, they can email you. I mean, it's really, I know I'm blowing it way out of here, but if you see what I see, and if you're not, you got to open your eyes more and start clicking around and start putting this puzzle piece together. It's a masterpiece. Don't look at one, look at it all. Me and Milo talk about this and Julie for hours. That's why I sometimes I don't even come on here, because my day will be shot. No, but anyway, you just look at that. Seriously, take the time and see what you really have. it's not one fishing pole with one hook.
Absolutely.
It is a net. It is an absolute net.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Marty. And I'm going to turn it to Milo really quickly, but I like to bring this on too. Every artist, any artist would have their merchants, right? Their merch, they call it, right? T-shirt, cups, hat. I mean, that is another stream of income because OnPassive have O-commerce, right? Or O-shop that you actually, it's another stream of income to the musician. So any musicians who are in OnPassive, done, drop the mic right there. They never have to worry about money. Oh, how am I going to promote myself? How am I going to bring my song to the world? There's no end to it. I mean, like, I love what Marty's saying here. It's because all you have to do, musicians, artists, all you have to do is focus on what you do most, what you love to do, your creativity, your singing. I'm not a musician. I love music, but I'm all stoked right now just listening to our discussion here, and I'm loving it. And, you know, at the end of the day, if your music, I said at the end of the day, Red's quote, all of us will be able to enjoy the music, what you're putting out there. And think about this. When you hold your own concert, have you ever thought about holding your own concert with millions of people attending it? And if you want to go for free, fine, you don't have to charge them. Imagine you have O-Wallet. You can sell your ticket yourself using OnPassive ecosystem. You don't have to split tickets price to anybody. You can just charge, you know, instead of $200 a ticket, you can charge $50. Everybody get to be in and watch you perform, watch your music. I mean, this is so beautiful. And I'm going to turn it to Milo. But before I do that, we're going to have all of our panelists here asking questions. So if you are musicians that you're joining us today, we are welcoming you. If you are artists that you are already doing what you're doing right now, please raise your hands and we're going to start calling everyone in. I do know that there are some artists right now that have records out there that's kind of stuck there for a while. So this is here, it's where we are masterminded, brainstorming it, and we have Marty, Milo, we have everyone here. We can add values to you as a musicians if you haven't already know about OnPassive products. So I'm excited, Milo. I'm going to better turn the mic to you, otherwise I'm keep going.
All right, thank you, Julie. You know, and I say all the time, I say that, you know, OnPassive is going to make it where that you're only going to do something you're passionate about, because you don't have to do anything else. You know, you don't have to work at something that you hate. How cool is that going to be for everybody? Not only the person working and doing it, but the person receiving it. Because there's a difference. When you hear someone that's passionate about what they're doing, it's different than when you hear someone that's being paid and almost forced to do it because they know it. Okay. And so I feel that the music is just going to get better. Now, I'd like to tell a little story about it. In 1993, there was an older gentleman that I knew, and back then was just when the internet was becoming a thing, right? And this older gentleman, he wasn't that great a singer, but he was, I would say, he's like a, you know, almost a hillbilly type guy that played and people liked it. But I mean, he wasn't that good. His records wasn't that good, but he had created a gospel album. And do you know that he found a way, because back then in 1993, MP3s was just coming out. It was just being able to be taken over the internet. He found a way to share his music with Ireland. Why it was Ireland, I don't know. But he found this pocket in Ireland that loved his music. Do you know that guy in 1993 sold 100,000 records? I think they were records or cassettes back then. He sold 100,000 of them over in Ireland. Just one guy. Nobody in the US knew who that guy was. They didn't even care, you know, hardly. You know, he had a few, but I mean, there was, you know, he just had a handful of fans. This is what you're going to see, because you don't realize how many countries there is out there that might like your music, that you right now have no access. They have no access to you. You have no access to them. What this does, like I said, now there's going to be some things that has to be put in place. Who gets paid, how they're going to get paid. I'm sure that will all be worked out. But if you own your own music, you wrote your music, you sung your music, you play your music, and you can sell your music over the digital, well, guess what? All you got to do is put an MP3 on there. If you want to sell it, you can sell it. Whatever you make is yours. With Spotify, you might make, I don't know, 0.8 cents or 0.08 cents, I think it is, or something. You make very little. With this, you would get it all. But do you really need to do that? No, you don't, because guess what? You will have as much money as you will have as many apples as you want, so you don't really have to now depend on that. You can let that flow from you, and you can bless people if you want to. But guess what? When you bless people, it sends more blessings back to you. That is the beautiful thing about ONPASSIVE is when you give away, it comes back to you. Renata, you teach kids. You can have a class, and like Marty said, right now you might have a class where you have 10 people come in or whatever. What happens if you put it online and all of a sudden everyone says, oh my God, I'm going to put my kid in Renata's class. She teaches this wonderful thing. And all of a sudden now you're teaching 5,000 kids a day. If you're charging $1, guess what? That's $5,000. You know what I'm saying? Or 5,000 apples, however you want to put it. So that's what I see it changing a lot too. And back to you, Julie. I think, are we going to other people for questions? Or Renata, do you have anything to add, or Rado?
Yes. Before I call on everyone else, it's really amazing that you are here. As you understand, we are just masterminding this whole entire session today. It's just kind of bring up some topic. I wanted to ask our guests here, Loretto and Renata here, after hearing what we discussed here, I'm sure there's light bulbs moment in your mind that you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. Or, oh my gosh, this could be something that's big. I'm going to call on Loretto. Loretto, what light bulb? Because I noticed that you're writing things down. I noticed that you're noting, and I see your smile. Please talk to us a little bit about that.
I'm just excited because some of these thoughts came to my mind, especially, when Ash always talks about traffic, right? He talks about traffic and he knows how to direct traffic and everything. And that's something that captured me already from the beginning, knowing that we will have AI directing all this traffic to us. And for me as a musician, I always like, yes, traffic, we need it. So I'm so excited. And I just want to thank also Maddie, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Everybody that is speaking, thank you so much. And Bill just wrote something that he wants to manage, or he can offer his services. I'll give you my contacts after this. So yeah, but anyway, I just want to say that I'm just so excited because if nobody knows the worth of ONPASSIVE, I don't know what's going on in their head, because there's no way that it's not possible to see the picture. When you see everything coming together and interwoven together, there's no way as even if you're not a musician, right? If you're just saying, okay, I have a business or whatever, there's no way you're not going to succeed. No way. The way things are done or things are interwoven on ONPASSIVE, it's built for you to succeed. So I'm really excited about that, about, offering classes on Academy, offering vocal lessons on Academy. This is what I want to do as well, because I'm a vocal teacher. So for me, I'm just excited about that, and just building the fan base, knowing that already on ONPASSIVE, because of this wonderful family that we are, we support one another. So that already is just, something amazing for me, that you already have people who admire what you do, who support what you do. So it's amazing to me. I just want to say that's that. I don't even know what to say. I'm just, yeah.
Absolutely, Renato. Thank you so much. What about you, Renata? What kind of moments, what light bulbs turned on for you?
Yeah, I'm also very excited, especially after Marty's speech and Milo's. Thank you so much. And I was already thinking about something like that, but with daily, I wouldn't say troubles, and with working all of that, it seems like it's like a kind of disappear from my mind, and I'm so glad that I'm here and I heard it again. Yeah, I will definitely use our academy to teach maybe some instruments playing, because there are so many kids that want to play, for example, our traditional instruments or piano or some other, and their parents have no money to send him to music schools, because I'm not in music school, but I'm teaching it in primary school. It's in my, in my schedule, and I would like to help some people, some children who are who wants to learn some instruments. I think I will not charge at all, or it will be a very small amount. If it's if I realize that, and I think what you said, Milo and Martin, you, Julie, it's like like heart is beating so fast, and it's a lot of ideas. I cannot tell now exactly what, but I'm very, very happy to hear all of that.
Yeah.
And
Fantastic. Wow, I love it. If you are joining us today, and if you're watching from YouTube, from all the channels that are here, please get back with the person who shared this with you, because you are in for a treat. They really care for you, and they know that you are talented, and they want to bring you out to the world. And so please get back with the person who shared this with you. Trust me, what we share here, what we discuss here, it's just a fraction of what ONPASSIVE is about. It's so much bigger than that. Think about the whole ecosystem, wherever you are on the field. So please get back with the person who shared this with you. It only costs you $97 to make that decision, to get to know more, to learn more, to be part of what is so big. It's going to change your world. It's going to change the people around you. It's going to change the fan base that you currently have. So, it's so much bigger. Milo, I'm not sure what you're saying, but Loretto, you had mentioned about Bill Musk. Yes, Bill Musk is a musician. He has done so much to ONPASSIVE. He has brought so many people out. And when I asked him to do the panel to do the background for us, he said that he's not going to miss this show. So thank you, Bill, for everything that you are doing. And also thank you for your love on music. And he loves both of you. He loves what you're putting out there. So just kudos that to Bill Musk and to the musicians here as well. So this is now a time for us to bring on our panelists, friends that are here that wants to ask questions or bring in some more value. Please, I just want to remind everyone, you have 2 minutes on your comments, your discussions. So please keep the time, because we do have a lot of people here that want to ask, and there are so many more things that we want to bring on the table here as well for musicians or for the guests that are listening right here. So William DeLong, you are up next. I just pinned you. Please go ahead and open your mic and ask your question.
Hello, hi Julie, hi Milo.
William.
I'm hearing a lot. This is wonderful. And I believe ONPASSIVE is like what Ash said. A lot of people pass away and don't bring out their skills or their creativity. So what the products are bringing out, create, can you, and we're learning that. So right now, on Passive, we're learning all the products. It's going to bring out time freedom plus all what I mentioned, I think, was time freedom. Plus, we can, with the amount of apples that we can get, we can take all different courses like in Academy. And Ash mentioned to think bigger than you are.
Absolutely, William.
You're muted, William.
He is not muted, but he just paused right there. So I'm not sure if you're.
Yeah,
No,
so I just want to mention it that don't be afraid. This is for the amateurs to bring out your creativity, because everybody has skills and creativity. So just continue. We'll have the time freedom to do that.
Absolutely, William. Thank you so much. And we're going to see William sing too, okay? It's going to happen, right, William? And dance?
I have to do that with people, and Julie's song there. I love that song with David.
Yes, and you're playing guitar, don't you?
Yes, but right now I don't have much time. I go to webinars and my health is not 100%, but all these things that are coming out, my health is going to be 100%. I'm telling you, when I have time, freedom, and apples.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, William, for sharing your thoughts today. Appreciate you always. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, Milo. Did you have a? Did you want to say?
I'd like to. William brought up a great point. This is not only for people that are polished like Loretta and Renata. This is for anybody. There is going to be people come out that are going to develop from this because they have the apples. They can sit and they can practice. And I can tell you, all it takes is practice to become better at your skill. And you become better at your skill. And, people like all kind of music. So don't think that this is just for the people already singing or the people already doing it. There's going to be people that learn to write songs. There's going to be people that sing songs that we have never heard of before. And I encourage you as an ONPASSIVE founder to make sure if you follow someone, and I don't care if it's someone in your church, because I'm going to tell you, there are great singers in church that don't even realize that they're that great a singer. They really don't. I'm in Nashville and I go to karaoke all the time. And I tell you, I can point out a person that sings in church. I can. What is the difference? The person, a lot of times, that sings in church or does it, they do it with feeling. You can feel what they're singing. Okay. The person who is, say, trained and stuff, they're out there doing a performance type thing, but the person can connect with the person in the seat. That's a big deal. That is a good deal. I'm not saying that it diminishes the other. I'm just saying some of the people, there was a song out, She Don't Know She's Beautiful. That's the way it is with singer. You do not realize how good you are sometimes. And I see it all the time. So I just wanted to bring that up because William brought up a good point. It is for everybody. Don't count anybody out, because when the apples are there and you have the passion, man, go for it. Do whatever you want to do and let's shine.
Absolutely, Milo, for sure, for sure. Renata, did you want to add a few points?
Yeah, if I can, what William said, I think I'm also waiting for that, time freedom more than money freedom, because we are doing now too what we are doing, but I think we are in a little pressure, you know, on daily basis. And I would like to have all time on this planet, you know, to wake up where I want to if I want to make music, you know, for 36 hours. And, you know, but when you are working in school, I'm like, you know, I have to go in when bells rings. I hope I have to go out when bells rings. You know, I'm limited, you know, especially with time. So I really cannot wait to have that time freedom. You know, we all need money too, but for me, time freedom, I think it's the
It's
most
much
thing.
bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
much
me
bigger.
too.
Thank you.
Time freedom and the ability to do what you want, when you want, and how you want, with who you want. I mean, that's big. I can just list the things, but thank you so much, Renata, for bringing up that point. You know, the only person that I don't want to hear probably Chris Johnson, the big head, Chris Johnson. And then you're going to see me going out there and sings a song that drop all the S's, right? if anyone knows the inside joke. But, you know, all kidding aside, Chris Johnson has a really good voice too. I don't know if he's here. He probably celebrating his daughter's birthday. So if you are reaching out, or if you see out there, just have a shout out to his daughter's Amanda's birthday today. It's her 26th birthday. We're sending all the love to that family today, you know, just to celebrating. But he has a good voice. I've heard him sing. So if you want to, you can push him. All right. Thank you so much for bringing on some of the point. I wanted to bring on Gladys. Gladys from Kenya. I see that you have your hand raised. Please go right ahead, Gladys, please unmute your mic.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Julie and Milo, for bringing us this show, especially of musicians. I think when I look globally, as far as I've been able to see, I realize that there is a lot of wasted talent out there. My heart goes especially to the children that I see, more especially in Africa. I see them online with very special talents, but nobody is guiding them. Nobody is helping them to bring that talent out. So I'm very, very excited about, and even for myself, I released an album of praise and worship music in 2018. But without someone guiding you what really to do with your album, you can put it on YouTube and it will be sitting there. It took me how many years since 2018 until maybe 3 weeks ago. That's when I put my first song on YouTube. So I'm looking forward, and I know that through this platform of All Connect and with the vision of Mufareh, there's a lot of talent in ONPASSIVE. My own team, I have 3 artists who have released the albums. I have people who play instruments, but all these talents are just dormant. So I can't wait to see what happens in the future. I'm very, very excited and looking forward, because I know that if we know what to do as founders, and we have this platform, we can take this to the other remote areas, we can take this to different parts of the world, so that we can also uplift others, because we are lucky to be here today. I believe that ONPASSIVE is an opportunity that has come such a time as this to help us to reclaim back that which we had lost, to help us to come out, to be the best that we can. As one of the leaders said yesterday, I'm not sure, I think it's Ron, that ONPASSIVE is a non-judgment zone. You come as you are, you bring what you have, and Ash believes that we all, each of us, has something to bring, has something to put at the table. All that we need is that chance, and we have it now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gladys. Thank you so much for being here with us. And absolutely, you're so right. There are so many pieces of beautiful music album that is doormatted right now. It's very true. If you put it on YouTube, if you put it on social media, if you put it on anything, it just kind of sit there until you have your own fan base, or, until someone is actually listening to it. To me, music is another language. Music is another way of communicate to each other. And it is beautiful if we have artists out there that create and also share that with other people. So I'm so thankful for both of you being here with us, and other musicians are keep creating. I bet you, and I guarantee with you, whatever you create, ONPASSIVE will adopt to it and will bring it out to the world. Milo?
Yeah, I would just like to say to Gladys, this is going to be wonderful for you, because this is going to open up a whole new world to you and anyone else out there in the situation that Gladys is in. Remember, once it opens up, you could actually do say an O Connect concert, and you could get a bunch of friends together and have an O Connect concert, which will bring more fans to you also. I see a lot of that happening, because if you remember O Connect, we can do it from around the world, so we can have people in different parts of the world singing on a concert together, or whatever, however you want to do it. And when you talk about the children, that is a beautiful thing. But I mean, I can see Renata going and taking these children and forming a choir, with these children, and doing wonderful things around the world, or someone that is a passion for, where you want to help children sing and stuff like that, and guide them. And it's going to make us all better. So it's going to make us all better.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to bring on Bruce Gerstein. Bruce, if you would please unmute your mic and ask your questions or make your comment.
Certainly. Thank you, Julie. And thank you, Renata, and thank you, Loretta, for your service and for your information. I want to tell you, Loretta, it was the first time I heard your voice. I loved it, and I love you. And the song itself, to me, is very spiritual and it's very powerful. And I said to people online that this will drive, if you don't get driven to find out more about ONPASSIVE just from in it to win it, you have no heart, because there's such a heart there. But I do want to talk about music, because music is, I'm a songwriter, and I know I've been in bands, and the thing about bands and getting albums and all that is that nobody makes money in the record industry as a band, not from the album sold. They make maybe 6 cents a record if they're lucky. But ONPASSIVE can really level the playing field on it a lot, because once you have your own album that you recorded, that you have, it's digitized, and once it's digitized, it can be put online. Right now, your song could be like a platinum record, double platinum record by itself. It is so huge. But the wonderful thing about music is music is what everybody needs in this world. Without music, I don't think we would have much of a world. So ONPASSIVE giving this platform, and if you think about O Connect and the amount of people that can be in one concert at one time, just from O Connect with ONET, that's amazing. It baffles the mind how huge that can be for anyone. Even I went to a concert in my college. Bruce Springsteen used to practice, and it was E3 bands. And in the auditorium, he played for us for $1. You can't see $1 concert today, but online, you can actually give people $1 concert and have 5,000, 10,000 people at one concert at one time. It's amazing to think that you could do it on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis, whatever you want to do. And you can teach the children, you can get the choirs going, you can get vocal coaching, you can get instrument coaching, all that stuff is all in there. But there's so much more. Not only that, everybody who takes anything, one product from you, becomes your person for life. So just think how many people you could have for life just from that. And think of what they could do once they see what this can do for them too. There's over 10 million artists that are unsigned in the United States. Almost every one of them has one great song within them. And when I was in the digital music industry, we were offered to put one song out. If a person only had one song they wanted people to hear, we would let them hear that. And what we decided was that if you're a publisher, you get half the amount that an artist gets when you're online and doing it by yourself. You don't have to give a publishing company anything. You can contribute half of what you want, go less, or anywhere else you want, or help anybody else you want. Like I said, the possibilities are endless to go positive. So my ears are popping, but I won't go deaf over my ears popping, because there's music to be heard, and music to be played, and music to be written. So thanks again, Renata and Lorado. You were fantastic, and Julie and Milo and Marty. We're all fantastic because we are on path.
Thank you so much, Bruce. I appreciate your kind words, and thank you so much for being here. Renata and Loretto, do you like to respond or any comment on what Bruce was saying?
I just want to say, it's, everything that he said, I'm saying that too. So it's absolutely correct. So I'm just humbled, to be here on Passive. I have so many people who are knowledgeable, so many people who have a heart, so many people who have such a great vision. So I'm just humbled. So thank you, Bruce. Thank you.
Absolutely, Loretto. How about Renata?
Yeah, I also agree with Bruce. Thank you so much for bringing it to this meeting. And I just wanted to add something what Milo said, that I will be able to connect children from all over the world. I really like especially to work with little children about 4, 5, 6 years, because I know at one side I'm like them, I can communicate with them, and at the other side, maybe some people call me childish, but I really enjoy to work with young children, and I always wanted to visit, Africa or Egypt or other countries, and I was not able. But who knows? If I wouldn't be able to go there physically, it will be great to work with those children, with OConnect. So thank you, Milo.
Absolutely. Milo, go right ahead, Milo.
All right, Julie, I was thinking we would take them other two questions first, and then let me recap after that. I'm writing all my thoughts down real quick.
Okay.
So if
sure.
if we take those other two questions real quick, and then I would like to come back and recap because we're getting close on time.
Absolutely. All right, Van Loy Luke, if you would please unmute your mic. Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, hello everybody, and Julie and Marlo. First time for me, but I'm from Belgium. There's greetings from Belgium to United States. But it's a great show, really wonderful. But I'm also a musician, but I had not really not easy, but I had playing music and learn music from my 16 years. Now I have almost 50 this year. But I had played in public places outside, restaurants and hotels. But the really big problem here was in Belgium is yet so. When you will play inside a hotel or a restaurant, you need to pay sabam. It's really very difficult to go inside, go play someplace. But I see with the possibilities, and I hear this everything, to go on the internet to share your music. But also, I must say I'm not so great music player, but I'm a music player. I'm playing the keyboard, piano. But also, I know I can learn yet. I can learn more. But then on academy is very nice to hear that to follow lessons and to be better than and really this is the possibilities are very large. When I hear this, it's great to hear this all. I'm very excited about all this and what in the future will be possible. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, Van. Thank you so much for being here. It's nice to meet you as well. This is your first time being here with us. You know, in the Julie and Milo show, we do bring a lot of values to other people because that's what we're focusing on, how ONPASSIVE can help, you know, in different industry. I'm glad that today we have Loreto and Renata joining us today. We're focusing on the music industry. You know, we are going to bring more and what we discuss here, what they're answering here, what they're talking here, there's no right or wrong questions or answer. It's brainstorming. We bring the value. We stirred up some ideas for people to actually take what we're learning here, take what we discuss here, and then go out and say, okay, so there's another angle I can look at in ONPASSIVE, not just the products itself, not just how I could use ONPASSIVE to bring out, you know, my music to the world, my love of music to the world. But there's so much more to it. Fan base, you know, thinking about income, think about the capability of how far reach that you are as a musicians to the world. There's no limit in ONPASSIVE, right? So if you are listening to this program today, and if you are an artist or even an actor or actress, it's the same thing. The fan base, the reach is so much further, and there are tools and services can be found in ONPASSIVE as well. So thank you so much, Van, and continue to create because it's going to be so much bigger. And I see the value, the futures of our musician is also coming from ONPASSIVE. It's not out there right now because out there in the world right now, people pay so much and people have done so many things to get them out there. In ONPASSIVE, you don't have to do anything. All you got to do is creating beautiful music and playing beautiful music. So if you would, please go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and add Christoph on with us really quick. Christoph, if you would, please.
Yes, if you hear me now, can you hear me?
Yes.
Wonderful. Good evening, everybody. It's a wonderful evening. Thank you for this theme you say in English. I love it. And I want to connect to the words of Milo because he told us about his meeting with Ash in Mar-a-Lago. Is that right? In Florida?
Orlando.
And what?
Orlando.
So what I felt is you opened some special window in the heart of Ash. And he right away, he understood what you meant and what you brought and what the possibility he had to do. Because of his great heart, he will use it and give help to everybody, like these wonderful ladies who do their art and their music. I have experienced many time in Russia and Moscow, and I always felt very sorry for these people playing the best music underneath in the underground stations of subways. And these people were not allowed to play on official stage because if you want to go there to have a place, you have to put 5,000 euro or a dollar on the table. Otherwise, you never have a chance to do your art. And this is going to be changed now. I'm sure about this. And you're on the right way. This is so wonderful. I thank you for this tema, and it's great. And I last time I didn't know anything about you, dear Milo, because I told you you are an entertainer. Now I know you are one. And Julie does her work so great again. So it's a wonderful tema, and makes humanity and a piece of culture coming back to people. I don't want to talk about what's going on in this world now. We all know this, but we're getting back what is going to be put in our hearts and our ears and into our minds. Thank you for this. And this is so great. It's not only money. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christoph, for being here with us. Lovely seeing you every week now. All right, up next, we have Richard Lamoth. Richard would be our last speaker for today. I'm going to go ahead and bring Richard on really quick. All right,
I love all you
Richard,
beautiful men, women, and children of the world from the bottom of my heart. You know, since the beginning, I've been talking about feeding people and giving water where there's none and all that. Well, we just added to it. Not only are we going to feed them and dress them and give them homes, we're going to teach them music.
Entertain.
Not only will all these music artists make commissions, but they'll have so much freedom that they'll be able to help feed and eliminate homelessness, plus teach them music. Some have never even heard music. Can you imagine those children dancing in the street from your music? It's going to happen. And ONPASSIVE is what's going to bring it. We're so in it to win it. And I love y'all's. Big kiss and big hug.
thank you so much, Richard. Love what your excitement and your enthusiasm and your love to all of us here as well. As we understand, Monday, it's Valentine's Day. And I had a thought. I know these two musicians here with us are married. They're probably celebrating Valentine's Day with their loved one. But if I have more than 10 people, single people, right? Would like to sit together on Monday night and do karaoke together, right? Why not, right? Let's spend Valentine's together, all of us. We can talk about ONPASSIVE, we can talk about love, we can sing together. If I have more than 10 people, send me a message and say, hey, I want to do karaoke on Monday for Valentine's Day. I don't know, maybe at 9 p.m. or whatever it is. If you like to do that, please let me know. I will host it and we can get together and spend Valentine's together. All right. So we said our last speaker, but I think we have, I've got one so far. All right. I see Lorato has her hand raised. I would love to call on you, but give me 1 second, Lorato. I'm going to call on Nazrul because this will be the last speaker, and then I'm going to have Lorato speak, and then I'm going to send it over to Milo to wrap this whole thing up. Okay. All right, Nazrul, if you would please unmute your mic and speak.
Thank you, Julie. I want to say we have to hear a special music from Renata and Loretta. Please, you allow them.
Absolutely. They do have many songs out there, right? If you want to hear Loretto singing, she has a song out there, many, but one of the songs is in ONPASSIVE YouTube channel. You can go to her, Loretto Shader, YouTube channel. You can hear her song. You can also go to ONPASSIVE Croatia. That's where I see Renata put a lot of her music. Renata, you do have your own YouTube channel too, correct, Renata?
Yeah, I have ONPASSIVE Croatia, and I have my own where I put some children's music, and it not have much followers, and it's only like more private, but yeah.
So if everyone that listened to today, and I do know that you know these ladies, these musicians, please check out their channel. check out their works, encourage them to continue to create, right? Naruz, thanks so much for being here. We do have other musicians in the house. In On Passive, we do have Timmy Johnson, right? Todd Johnson. We have so many musicians. Even Milo has his own channel of musicians. So if you are in love with music, please check them out. All the names that I mentioned here, go to YouTube, find it, go to Facebook, find it, encourage them. Because when they putting words into songs, it's coming straight from their heart. You know, like Loretto, she's have done her music. And when she's released a song, it went crazy on Passive, right? And then Renata, the first song that we did together, right? Share the Love. We play it on our videos. At the end of our video, if you listen, if you follow the Julie and Milo show, we play them, we add them on there. So please continue to support the musicians out here. So I'm going to go ahead and have Loretto say a few words, and then Renata after that, and then I'm going to send it to Milo to kind of like recap everything's going on.
No, I was not going to say much, but I wanted to say that on Monday, I'm teaching. So when you said that, you know, I would have loved to join you guys, and my heart is breaking. I don't know if you guys can move it to another day, because then I would join, but I would have loved to join on Monday.
Perfect, perfect. Let's see, let me work with Milo and see how many people wants to do that together. I would love for all of us to have a Valentine's celebration together, you know, because we're talking about music. You know, it's best to actually have a karaoke on. I don't know how to sing. Oh, I can sing, but
you can sing well. You can sing well.
Thank you, Loretto. I will keep in touch. We'll let everybody know. But at this time, if you are interested on Valentine's, you know, get together and sing, please put in the chat. Put in the chat right now. You have 20 minutes to do that. By the time that Milo closed down, we're going to close the show. But please let us know if you're interested to do it. I've already seen people sending messages out. We might going to make that happen. So I'm going to send it to Renata. Renata, if you would please.
Yeah, great idea. I would like to join too. I hope I will not fall in sleep because it is 2 a.m. But I will try to come. And the other thing I wanted to tell is that to this Christoph, I think, or Nazur, that he visit also Bill Mast's channel, because on his channel are more my songs than on Passive. And if this is the end, I would like to say a few words short about music. The music is the medicine for our souls, and we are created with music. You know, we are born with music, with rhythm, with melodies, and like is on Passive's vision, that we are here not to compete, so that should be in music too, because one of my professors told us that we are here when we come with children to, you know, to chorus competitions. He always told us that we are all winners just because we are there, and that we are here to sing together and to create that beautiful sound to touch people's heart, and that is what I accepted as my you know, I don't know what's that. At the end, this is my help me.
You know what, Renata, you don't say much, but the songs that you put out there are full of what you want to say. So you don't need help, my dear. You got it, and the words that you
Okay.
put out there. So thank you so much for being here. You mentioned about Bill Musk. Absolutely. You know, everything that Bill Musk doing is what Bill must see what's in the community, and he put it in his video, right? So if you can't find Bill Musk, just go on YouTube and do Bill Musk on Passive. You'll see him right there. And Bill Musk on Bill Musk channel has all of Lorato music that she put on Passive, and Renata's music for On Passive is also there. So
Mine too.
thank you. Yes, yours, Milo and Timmy Johnson and Todd out there. And then there is songs that Renata did with Jeffrey Morlocks out there. So go to Bill Musk's channel, you'll see them all. You can also go to Loretto's Sade's music. Just type their name in, you'll see it. For Renata, you're gonna see On Passive Croatia on there as well. I better send it over to Milo. Go ahead, Milo, please.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you. All right. I want to thank all of you for coming today, because remember, we would not have a show if you wasn't here. So thank you. And thank you for our guests, Lorato and Renata, for being on here today. I just want to quickly go over and recap, and I know I can't do it within 3 minutes. I can't do it within 5 minutes, and it's probably going to take me 10 to 15. But what I would like to say is, what did we learn today? We learned, number one, ONPASSIVE is going to give us all time freedom. That is really, honestly, more important than the money freedom, because most of us don't have time, especially in the music industry. I know myself, I don't have time. Part of it is because I don't have the money to take the time, and the other, but now if I can be there and I can just sit, I could write music if I wanted to, which you have to have a desire to write music, and I appreciate that, Renata, about you. I can write music, I can sit down and I can write a song if I want to. I just don't sometimes have that fire in me to do that. Now it could come if I got enough apples and I got time freedom. So time freedom is important. Second thing, apples. Apples are very important to all of us, because we all have to live. But once we hit those apples and once we get them in, and we don't have to worry about it, because remember, one spot will give us all the apples that we need. We can do whatever we want to. That's why I say the third thing is passion, passion to do whatever we want to. That will change the whole world, I feel. The passion that you have, that you'll be able to present, whether it's Renata with children or teaching music or however she wants to do it, or it's Loreto wanting to get out there in front of a crowd and, being able to express herself in music, make people feel good. And I don't remember if it's Renata or Loretta, one of us said, that music makes us all feel better. There's no doubt about that. I remember as a young man, I learned to play the piano when I was about 17 or 18 years old. And when I would come home from work, when I first got married, and man, I'm telling you, I would hate to be living right now, because things got to be really tough for these kids with all they go through. But back in my day, I go through things, and maybe you're eating hot dogs all week because that's all you can afford, or whatever. And the car broke down and this and that, and everything would start happening. What was the first thing I would do? I would walk over to my piano, I would sit down, I would start singing, and all of a sudden, all that stress was like, boom, gone. That's what music can do for you. Okay, now another thing that's huge, I think, is as an artist, musician, and I'm not even talking you got to be a big artist. I'm saying the guy that sings in church that is not known, that maybe that he's a good singer, and you encourage him to say, hey, put something on YouTube. Let's start building a fan base, start seeing what people like, letting him express himself. I think the passion's going to come out. Like I said, I think that's going to be a big thing. So remember, as a founder, we have all these opportunities before us, to do whatever we want to. I want to thank also like Bruce Gerstein and Bill Musk. Oh my God, these guys have been in the music industry. They know it. and I know that the lights are just going on and things are going off in their head about what people can do and how they can do it. It's going to be a good time for us. Okay, how about Create? Create is going to make your website. You'll be able to put your website out there. You'll be able to advertise however you want to. You know, with Academy, you can teach people to sing. You can teach people to play. You can do stuff like that. What about how about Julie? I believe mentioned Shop for merchant. You know, everyone will have merchant out there. I mean, why not have a shirt that says, "Hey, I like Loretto's music," or "Hey, I sing in a choir with Renata." You know, how about that stuff? I mean, that stuff is important to people. You know, mugs, cups, caps, whatever. So the merchant will be good too. Okay, how about Connect? What's Connect going to do for us? Connect's going to put us in touch with millions of people around the world at one time. Remember, we can have our own TV station if we want to that plays music. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be all your music. Remember, get your friends together, start a station. You know, now I believe it was Crystal come up with the thing. Hey, what about royalties? What about, you know, people need to get paid? Great question. Great question. And I know that will be addressed, because I promise you, Mr. Ash does not want anything out there that's illegal, and we're not suggesting anything like that. So if an artist has got stuff out there, respect that, you know, that's their music, that's their livelihood. You get a hold of them, you know, but I do believe that there will be ways that will be addressed, whether it's a blockchain technology, you know, cryptocurrency. I know Ash said we're not having cryptocurrency, but we're having something similar. So I'm assuming that it's going to have something with like a blockchain. A blockchain, if you're familiar with blockchain puts something on the web that it says, hey, you know what, anytime this song is played, this amount of money goes to this one, this amount of money goes to that one or the other, you know, something like that. Or, you know, you address them so that, you know, they've got people coming to them. But the cool thing about it is when you're getting paid, because the more popular you get, you know. So if I'm an artist, I don't care. I might not care if I get paid, which I don't. I don't care if I get paid, because here's what it's going to do for me. I know that it's going to bring people to my fan base. It's going to bring people to my funnel. When they come to my funnel, I would much rather have a commission for them being in on passive that I get every month as opposed to making 8 cents a song or whatever. Okay, so that's what I see. That's personal. Like I said, there's no right, there's no wrong answers here. It's just what you feel, you know, you believe, but you would have to own all of your own music, you know, and stuff. All right, let's see. What about Connect? How about using it for a chat or for talking to your fans, you know, because remember, you can now talk back and forth to them. You know, you could actually address a whole big room of them, just like we're doing right here. Hey, raise your hand if you got a question for me. How cool is that your fans can connect right with you? That's can't hardly happen right now. Some do it with Zoom, but I mean, that's limited. That's limited to, you know, 20,000. If you're doing 20,000, you're paying $8,600 for it a month. Well, with Connect, you don't have to pay because you have it. Let's see.
Milo,
what else?
may I bug in here
Chat
too?
is another good one. I can't remember. One of you brought up Chat. You know,
Milo, may I talk just a little bit on what you brought up, the point with Connect?
Well, let me finish. Let me finish. Okay. So Connect for concerts, you can have millions of people go to a concert, you know, that can do that. Chat, the passion is going to change everything in the world. Okay. And then the last thing, let's see, Van Looy, I believe, was saying, what about paying people? You know, because there is the royalties, there is the thing that you've got to, you know, you need to pay homage to whoever's doing it, you know, and restaurants and stuff are, they're governed by these different agencies. I think that down the road, you're probably going to see whether the agencies come on board there'll be something worked out where that will happen. That has to happen because, you know, right now that's one of the holdups with, you know, it's really holding the musicians, holding the bands, it's holding everyone back from creating good music because you can't, because of what's out there that says, hey, you can't do that because we own the rights to the music, you know. So that's my points. That's my recap. And Julie, you got something?
Yeah, sorry, Milo. I kind of bug into what you're saying because O Connect is so amazing where you actually can have, do you know, nowadays, if you are an artist, you have to schedule time and you charge people to come and meet with you, right? Now you don't have to do that too. Now you don't have that anymore. You can just offer an option for them to come in and join you. And then when they are in joining you, you're like, you know, you can give them the benefit of saying, you know, this product that we are using, allowing us to meet each other without the cost coming out of your pocket, right? You can encouraging your fan to actually join you in some of the product that you are using. Not only that you give them the time for them to spend with you, but you give them some more value so that they can actually use the product. You know, you can turn all of your fans into customers, right?
Well,
For
Julie,
other products.
The truth of it is you don't have to do any of that.
Exactly.
Because that's what ONPASSIVE does. And that's what I'm saying. You know, when you do a concert and you do it for free, or you do it for $1, or you do it for $10, whatever you want to do it for, you know, you're going to make money, but you're going to make money two ways. You're going to make money if you charge, but how about not charging? How about just letting it be a passion of yours? How about it being a love of yours? Because you know on the backside, you're going to make money. And you don't have to tell them about ONPASSIVE. That is the cool thing, because guess what? When they come into ONPASSIVE, when they come to that O Connect, they are then connected to ONPASSIVE. ONPASSIVE starts dripping campaign. So if you know what the email drip campaign is, it means that, okay, the first time they're going to get something that says, hey, thanks for coming to O Connect. It was a great show. You know, you can have this. You can, and it'll tell you some of the features about it. You can put 1 million people on and talk to 1 million people at one time. You can do this, 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 and this. And then, you know, if that doesn't hit them, well, you know what? You can also build your own shop, you know, and it talks about O Shop. And then, you know, it might bring up O Dit, you know what? Guess what? If you're an artist and you want to do something, all of a sudden O Dit is great because it makes it so much easier to edit your video. It makes it so much easier. You can write on it. You can do pictures with like a meme, you know. There is so many things that you can do, and it will bring each one of those in. And I guarantee you, someplace along the line, that person's going to realize, man, this ONPASSIVE is something else. You know, I really need to get it. So it's a good point. I mean, like I said, you don't have to do it. Remember, ONPASSIVE is going to do that for you.
Artificial intelligence, machine learning will do it all. All you got to do is sit and create. Bring your passion out there. Thank you so much, Loretto and Renata, for being here. I mean, I'm having a hard time saying your name together. I got to make sure I say it correctly. So I'm apologize if I'm trying to get out there, you know. So
it's okay. It's okay.
oh my gosh, I'm trying. I'm like, don't mess up, Julie.
Relato.
I think I did, right? Did I mess up? I think I did. So
Yeah.
Loretto and Renata, thank you so much for both of you being here. I know you both are beautiful and amazing artists. We appreciate you so much. Just being here, just kind of listening to what you say. And we do hope that we bring some more value to what you are doing as well. And thanks so much. Any last words from both of you, please? Loretto, you.
You start first. Renato, start first. Or not, Renata? That's what you said, Julie. So I'm calling us like how
like we are one person.
I was teasing Julie. She didn't get the joke, but it's fine. I called
called you
I think I said Loretta and Renato. I think
That's
that's
how I
what
was
I
teasing
did.
you, Julie. I was like, let me just tease Julie just a little bit.
There you have it, everyone. You can laugh with Julie, right?
Yes. But this is what it's about, to have fun, to enjoy each other, to enjoy this show. Thank you so much for putting it up, Julie and Milo. And thank everybody who contributed. It's such a wealth of information for people who didn't know, for people who know, just to add into what we thought we knew and to expatiate on it. It's just such a beautiful thing. So thank you. There were people also on the chat, writing on the chat, but for some reason I couldn't write on the chat and reply everybody. But I just want everybody to know that I appreciate you so much and thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your support and just for being here and just being a part of this beautiful family, that we can sit here and discuss our success, because we are discussing success. We are discussing changing everything, changing the world, the world of music for musicians, how we put ourselves out there. So it's such a beautiful time and a beautiful moment. Thank you for inviting me. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. There's nothing else I want to say apart from thank you. I'm just gratitude. Thank you.
Renata?
From me also, thank you very much for inviting me, and thanks to all who visited this Julie and Milo show. And I really think that we all learned so much from today's show. And my last words will be that it's only about love. So let's go out there and share the love and peace. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, both of you, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for being here with us today. We do hope that this show today brings some values to you. We are going to have karaoke night on Monday night, and it's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, well, I'm going to put the link out there. Hopefully everyone join us. We do have a lot of people say, I'm interested. So let's join together on Monday for a Valentine's evening. Monday evening is the only evening that we can have that, because all the evening has other webinars as well. Who knows, we might do live stream as well. But thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us. What you are hearing today is all about ONPASSIVE. What you're seeing today, the joke, the mistakes we make, the mixing names that I made, it's all about ONPASSIVE, and we are all here together because we love ONPASSIVE and we love what ONPASSIVE is bringing out to the world. If you are a guest today, please get back with the person who shared ONPASSIVE, who shared this webinar with you. And if you are musicians, continue to create, because you know ONPASSIVE got your back. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. Good night from Orange County, California.
Good night from Nashville.
Good night
Please,
from
good night
Canada.
from
Good night.
Good night from the DMV area.
Good night.
Good night from Maryland.
Good night from Philadelphia, PA. Oh, the very
Good
top.
night, Lynn. Good night, Jerry.
Cynthia,
Good night,
Molly.
Kirsten. Good night, Brenda Lamont. Good night, Lynn. Good night, Lisa. Good night,
Night, Cynthia.
Good night, Michelle. Good night, David Otto. Good night,
Love you all.
Julie.
Happy
Valentine's weekend.
Good night, Michael Moore.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Milo.
Good night.
Hey, Cynthia.
See you guys Monday.
Hi, Bill.
Good night, everyone. Good night.
So much.